I'm no longer available for the version of me that just survives. Welcome back to Limitless and Midlife. I'm your host, Sally Arkell Bowles, and today we're going to talk about something most of us avoid until we're either exhausted or cracked wide open by life. Letting go. Because if we want to level up in midlife, you have to be willing to release. And I'm not talking about decluttering your closet. Although, hey, I'm all for a good purge. I'm talking about releasing the real weight, the beliefs, the obligations, the identities that no longer serve the woman that you are becoming. Because here's the truth. You can't rise while you're holding on to what's keeping you small. Deep breath. That's a big one. It's a full on, what can I say here? It's a full on observation about how we have to shift. Because we can't rise if we're still holding on to what's been keeping us small. So when I say that, what are you thinking? Put that in the comments. Because I really like to encourage the comments in this community so that as women, we're not afraid to share what's really going on in our lives and build a community that's supportive of each other, but also in a way holding people accountable to understanding how to apply these principles that I talk about. So as we're thinking about that and what's weighing us down, take a deep breath. Now, get honest for a moment. What are you still carrying out of habit or obligation or fear? Maybe it's the job you outgrew years ago, just like I had before I left my corporate career. The friendships that drain you. I think we all have a few of those, don't we? What about the constant over-functioning, over-giving, over-performing woman that you are? So many women in midlife come to me and they're saying, I don't know why I feel so heavy. I'm stuck, but I can't explain why. They honestly really don't know what's going on. They just know inside their body that something's amiss. Something's missing. Something's not clicking the way it should. They also tell me I've lost my spark. I don't know how to get it back. And the truth is, none of these women are broken. They've just buried under years of stuff that no longer are in alignment. I was that way too. I just wasn't in alignment anymore. And I knew my life needed to shift. And that's when I started to really do the work on myself and with other coaches so that I could really understand what was going on with me at this growth stage in your life where we've just put everything into everybody else for so long, we've forgotten to put things into ourselves to bring our beauty forward, our love forward, our energy forward, our excitement forward again. And I want you to know that letting go isn't failure. It's actually freedom. It's freedom. So why do we hold on even when it hurts? Maybe you're like me and you were in a relationship that just did not feel good. And you were always trying to compensate for that other person's behavior and trying to make everything perfect, trying to solve all the problems. So, why is letting go so darn hard? Maybe it's because we've been taught to equate letting go with quitting, or worse, giving up on people or ourselves. But in reality, letting go is the ultimate act of trust. Think about that. Letting go is the ultimate act of trust. I believe there's more for me than this. I trust myself enough to create a new way. I'm no longer available for the version of me that just survives. If you need to write those down, I'll say them again because they really are mantras that you can use to be able to reprogram yourself to get yourself to really believe in who you are. So write these down or put them in the chat because anytime that you're moving to get that same thing out, it's going to be there for you. And as I've said many times before, we want to build this community of women supporting women. So let's just be active in the chat so that we understand that we're not alone and that we are going through similar things and supporting each other in a loving way that's going to help us all to really grow and thrive in midlife and beyond. So the three things I said were, I believe there's more for me than this. I believe there's more for me than this. I trust myself enough to create a new way. I trust myself enough to create a new way. And then you fill in the blank what that new way is. And the third one was, I'm no longer available for the version of me that just survives. I'm no longer available for the version of me that just survives. And sometimes when we're in midlife, isn't that how it feels? Like we're just doing the do and we're just surviving, but we're not thriving. I want you to know that that's not weakness. That's radical self-respect. When we can really start to tie in what we hold on to, even when it hurts. We need to be able to identify it as not a weakness, but self-respect, radical self-respect, as we're moving forward in our journey to really reclaim who we are. And there's three things to let go of so you can finally level up. So get those pens ready again or type it in the chat because I'd like to offer you these three things that you might need to release to grow into your next level. And the first one is old identities. The roles you played, the good girl, the fixer, the one who has it all together may have served a season. But you're not that woman anymore. And you don't owe anyone that version of you. I know the roles that I played for many, many years. Many years. I was the career woman out there getting these big jobs, having a lot of success, moving up the ladder very quickly. And I loved it. And I loved that persona and I loved the energy and everything else. But I became somebody in that. And not that it was a bad thing, but I was playing a role until I really didn't want to play it anymore. And that's when I took back my decision and resigned from my position. It took me a long time to get there because I knew that this was the role that worked and this was the role I was thriving in. until it didn't serve me anymore. Then there's the good girl, right? The good girl that's just going to be there for everybody and do everything for everybody. Oh yeah, and I'm taking care of the family and the house and the kids, my friends and my parents and 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 I'm just the good girl. I'm the one that just takes care of it. What about the fixer? The fixer that's got to fix everybody else's problems, but never touches their own. I got to fix my husband's problems or my spouse's problems. I got to fix my child's problems. And have my child a house because they're having a baby and they need a house. Who bought you your house? Was it your parents or did you do it? What about the ones that are wanting to fix everybody else's relationships? You know, you get together with your girlfriends and next thing you know, everybody's complaining about their relationships, but you're going to try and help them fix it. Think about all the places that you became a fixer in your life up until this point. And what about the one who has it all together? Right? Like I said before, it really may have served you in a season, but I can tell you based off of the conversations I've had with my clients, they're not wanting to do that anymore. They're not that woman anymore. And you don't owe anyone else that version of you from the past. See, there's been a bunch of outdated rules. The ones that success has to look a certain way. Think about it. Aren't we always looking at, or are people looking at, how do you dress? How do you talk? How do you walk? What kind of job do you have? One of the first things most people do when they meet you now is ask you, oh, where do you work? What do you do? Why do we do that? That's just an element of our lives. That's not our whole picture, right? Then there's the outdated rule that you have to earn the ability to have rest. That your worth is measured by your productivity. Oh my gosh. And the roles that I was in, it was all about that. The more I could get done, the more I was rewarded. Right. And therefore, that's what I thought my worth was, but it truly wasn't. Those rules, you didn't write them and you don't have to follow them. So please, please, please go in the chat, take a second and think about the outdated rules that you've been following. Pop them into the chat. Yes. Reason why I ask you to do that is because it's going to really help me come forward to help you with the things that you're still struggling with or the elements of your life that you really want to shift, but you're still not sure how to do it. And I wanted to be part of the community. As I've said before, I want to build this community so we trust each other, not in judgment, but we trust each other to understand that this is normal. This is what we've been trained to do. It's what the thought patterns we've been adopting to be where we are today. And then the third element is the illusion of control. This one's big. Sometimes we cling to things because we fear the unknown more than we fear staying stuck. Let that resonate. We fear the unknown more than we fear staying stuck. But that in-between space, that's where the magic begins. And that's where freedom lives. So think about that. Really ruminate on that for this next week. Because it really is the unknown and the fear of the unknown more than the fear of staying stuck. And a lot of women in midlife, as you probably know, and maybe you've experienced this as well, are wondering if the relationship that they've been in with their spouse, their partner for years and years and years, and now they're empty nesters and they don't even feel connected anymore. They don't feel that love. They've just played a part within the relationship, and that fire has dimmed. And now they're wondering, what's next? But is it going to be something that I can actually step out of in a way that's going to be fulfilling for me? Is it really the relationship? Or did we just lose that relationship in the process of being everything for everybody else? And letting go of the really feel messy. Talked about being messy before in the messy middle, but you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. It's going to be messy. It's going to be emotional. It may even be raw, but it's also where you meet the most powerful version of yourself. And you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing to trust that pull, to say yes to what's calling you forward. You know what it is. It's deep inside, but it's actually on the surface. It's something that you know is inside of you that just doesn't feel right. And if you really allow yourself to just imagine, you'll probably see what comes forward. So, what is calling you forward? And let's stop with saying maybe later to the version of you that's waiting to rise now. So, today, as we were talking about really letting go to level up and to release what no longer serves you in midlife, we've covered a lot of different elements. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be complicated. I want you to know that I'm here for you. When you give yourself permission to let go and level up, it's going to be amazing. So until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and stay limitless. I'll see you in the limitless path.